Hello everyone. We're not meeting face to face this week, or probably next week, or the week after that, or maybe next month, or who knows when. But your English can't stop, so we're going to try to get information delivered to you in English, whether that be through video like this, or maybe we'll do some video chatting on Messenger or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But this week, I thought we would talk about maybe coronavirus. I know you're all tired of talking about it, but you're tired of talking about it in Czech. We're going to talk about it in English, and I'm going to give you some vocabulary and different things that you should probably know, so that if you do communicate with somebody in English about this, you'll know what we're talking about. Okay? So, without further ado, let's begin. So, what is coronavirus? Well, like the name says, it's a virus. And if you get it, you might get a fever, you might get a cough, or in worst cases, you might get shortness of breath, making it difficult to breathe. So why is everybody in a panic? It sounds like the normal cold or flu. Well, the coronavirus is actually a lot worse. Here you can see a comparison between flu and COVID-19, which I'll explain in just a minute. On the top row, there is the infection rate, or rate of infection. You can see with the flu, if you catch the flu, you will probably give it to maybe one other person. However, if you get the coronavirus, you will probably give it to another 2 or 2.5 people. So it spreads to much more people than the common flu. The second one down is the incubation time. Incubation time is the time that you actually have the virus, but you are not showing any signs of having the virus. So you don't have a fever or a cough or anything like that. With the flu, you can have that for about 4 days, and then you show signs. With coronavirus, you can have it up to 2 weeks without showing any signs of the virus. And all that time, you're spreading it to lots and lots of other people. On the third line, you see the hospitalization rate. What this means is, if you catch the flu, there's about a 2% chance you're going to have to go to the hospital because of something getting more serious. However, if you get the coronavirus, there's about a 20% chance that you're going to have to go to the hospital and spend some time there, hooked up to machines and doing tests and all sorts of things that nobody wants to do. On the last line, you'll see the fatality rate, or rate of fatalities. This is the scariest one. If you get the common flu, you have a 0.1% chance or less of actually dying. Not very much at all. Now, if you catch the coronavirus, you have about a 1 to 3.5% chance of dying, which still doesn't seem like a whole lot, except that if we compare it, it's about 10 times to 30 times more likely than if you catch the flu. So, still a lot worse. However, the shocking, or maybe scariest part about the coronavirus is that it affects different age groups differently. So if you are 80 years old and plus, you have about a 15% chance of dying. Between 70 and 80, about an 8% chance of dying. So this is something that affects our grandparents and our elderly the most, which is something we really have to be concerned about. So COVID-19 is actually a specific type of coronavirus. COVID-19 is an acronym. So, what is an acronym? A word or name made from other words or names. There's lots of them in the English language. One you might know, IKEA, your favorite place to shop. By the way, you see she's wearing a mask? That's a good thing. The acronym IKEA comes from its owner, Ingvar Kamprad. Well, it's not really so important. Here's one you probably know, SMS. Short messaging service, or laser, light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation. Or here's another one, what the f. I don't know what this means, but my students always tell me this every time I give them homework. I need to look that up. But back to COVID-19. This comes from Coronavirus Disease 2019. So CO plus V plus D plus 19. There we get it. COVID-19. Now you know the difference between coronavirus and COVID-19. Let's talk about some buzzwords surrounding coronavirus or COVID-19. What is a buzzword? A buzzword is something that is very trendy. It's new. We're using it to talk about something new that's happening today. First up, let's take a look at outbreak, epidemic, and pandemic. So, an outbreak. A sudden rise in something, usually violence or disease. So, imagine you're at school and you get the flu. The next day you come to school, 5 more people have the flu. That's an outbreak. An epidemic is when the outbreak of a disease spreads quickly and affects large groups of people. So imagine the next day. Not only those 5 people have the virus, but the entire city of Colleen has the virus. That's an epidemic. A pandemic is just a larger version of an epidemic. So let's say a few weeks later, not only the city of Colleen has it, but everybody in the Czech Republic, and it's spreading across Europe, and it's going across the globe, like it is right now. This map shows the coronavirus pandemic. Sounds pretty serious, huh? But what are we supposed to do about it? How are we going to stop this thing? Well, one of the things we're already doing. It's called social distancing. Okay? How do we do social distancing? Well, maybe we don't have to go to that extreme. Actually, it's pretty simple. Just keep one llama between you and anybody else you see. Something like 2 meters. Whether that be in the grocery store, or walking down the street, or going to the park, whatever. Another buzzword is quarantine or self-isolation. Basically, it just means staying in your apartment or your house and not going to the park, not going to the grocery store, or not going any more than you have to or need to. But don't worry, there's lots of things you can do. Remember, we live in the digital age. For example, you can chat with friends. See, look how happy she is. She probably just got a text from Brad, captain of the football team. Play video games. Look how happy he is. He probably just won 500 gold coins in Fortnite. Or you can watch movies downloaded illegally off the internet. She's probably watching Titanic Part 2. You can read a book. I think this guy's reading Harry Potter. He just found out that Harry Potter knows magic. Maybe, if you're feeling really creative, you could write your own book with a huge pencil. Just saying, a little quarantining can be fun. Just use your imagination. Lastly, we need to know how to flatten the curve. What's that, you ask? Well, this is a line, a straight line. This is a curve, pretty sharp curve. You might see it like this on the road. Sharp curve ahead, watch out. Okay, Mike, but what does that have to do with the coronavirus? Well, this is a sharp curve. We want to flatten the curve. You see here, we have our healthcare system capacity. That means how many people can be in the hospital at one time. Over on the left, going up, you see the number of cases, right? So, if lots of people go to the hospital at one time, it goes over the healthcare system capacity. So we have to make sure that when we spread the virus, it spreads very slowly. Not over just a couple of weeks, but over the next couple of months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it takes, to make sure that if you get sick, there's enough space in the hospital for you to be taken care of. So we can assure that you and all those people you love will be around for many, many years to come.